as we've talked to people, they've come out of their private shame and they've said to us, interest rates are killing us.
We understand that money makes the world go round, but it needs to go round fairly.
And we hear the call of thousands of years of religious tradition and 200 years of American law.
This is a national problem, and it requires national attention.
Stop the abuse of usury, and then perhaps our capitalist free market system may gain credibility and blessing from above.
We propose a 10% cap on interest rates for credit cards and personal loans, including payday loans and rapid return tax refund businesses.
We have gathered here to say enough, and 10% is enough.
We will be meeting with the CEOs of major financial institutions, JP Morgan, Chase, Citibank, Capital One, Bank of America, and Wells Fargo, Wachovia.
What message do we want to send, Mr. Lewis? 10% what? 10% what? 10%
Let us pray. Metro IAF's 17 affiliated organizations on the East Coast and the Midwest represent over 450 congregations, schools, neighborhood associations, local unions, and other community-based nonprofits. These 450 institutions represent over 500,000 families.
There's nothing hidden about this campaign. There's nothing secret about this campaign. This campaign is simple. Just lower your interest rates, because 10% is enough.
Here's a new idea. Limit the amount of interest banks can charge. It's all in these books.
Any profit that is generated based on a formula that drives people into debt is usury.
Do any of you believe that we should have a law in America that has a usury rate? Do you think there's ever a rate that's usurious, that's obscene, that shouldn't be charged? It's 36% usurious. Could you answer that?
In the 1970s, I was actually in banking myself and was considering banking as a career. I was a branch manager with then First National Bank in Maryland. And at that time, a 9% interest rate was considered exorbitant.
Somehow banks did very well, made a lot of money in 1970 and 1960 and 1950. They did very well with these rates. But they got deregulated in 1980.
When the major banks and financial institutions decided that they didn't like to be restrained in how much they could charge, and they had a concerted lobbying campaign to upend it, and they succeeded.
Perhaps if we make some changes, then banks will get back to lending money for productive purposes and not trade in paper, because this trading in paper has destroyed this economy and has destroyed the lives of many, many people in the United States.
Are we clear that we want to meet with Mr. Ken Lewis? Yes!
When I heard about this campaign, I really didn't think there was something that was, I thought maybe it was really unrealistic. But today, when Reverend Hamilton went to the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston, they came down, met with us, and they took our letter. And then when we went to Bank of America, we marched out there, and their folks came down and they met with us. I said, okay, we're on to something.
No change takes place without pressure or the threat of pressure. And that's what we bring. Pressure and the threat of pressure.
So our hope is the Royal Bank of Scotland will, in the next few months, set an example, agree to a new card with a much lower interest rate than anybody else has, and that will then escalate across the rest of the banks, persuade the government that it is possible, maybe to even legislate on this matter, and the world will be a better and a safer place.
10% is good enough for God, 10% is good enough for Citigroup and for Wells Fargo.
This is the right issue at the right time with the right group leading it, Metro IAF.